Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on Ethereum. Lots of you are asking, where does ETH stand right now? Especially with Bitcoin sort of pausing. And to help us make sense of it all, we've got our in-house wizard of charts and cycles, the man behind the macro calls, Mr. P. Great to have you for this deep dive.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, definitely eager to jump in. ETH is making some moves, and there's quite a bit for you, the listener, to consider.
Okay, let's set the scene first. The big question we keep getting, why isn't Bitcoin, taking off aggressively yet?
Right, that's key. What we're seeing fundamentally is this slight disconnect between the S&P 500 cash index and its futures market.
A disconnect. How does that affect crypto?
Well, when the cash market and futures aren't quite in sync, especially after hours, it signals maybe less conviction from institutional players. This tends to ripple out, makes things a bit less certain, reduces risk appetite a bit. So altcoins, they kind of trade sideways.
Sideways. Not necessarily bearish, then.
Exactly. Not bearish, just sluggish. Though, yeah, some of the really high-risk coins might start to bleed a little bit in this kind of environment.
Okay, so with Bitcoin kind of stalled and the market feeling a bit hesitant, how's Ethereum fitting into this picture? Is it stuck too?
See, that's where it gets interesting. Ethereum is actually shining here.
Shining. How so?
Well, it sits, right in that sweet spot on the risk spectrum. It's not Bitcoin, but it's not some tiny speculative alt either. It's got that balance. And that makes it a standout performer when everything else feels a bit uncertain.
So despite this sluggishness, the overall bull run, is it still on? People are getting nervous?
Oh, yeah. 100% yes. For me, it's definitely still active. As long as Bitcoin holds that key level we talked about in premium, the $60 key support zone, that's my line in the sand, basically.
Got it. So focusing back on Ethereum then, what are its key levels and what's the bigger picture looking like?
For ETH, it's pretty straightforward right now. As long as it doesn't close a daily candle below its critical support, around $3,500, that used to be resistance, now it's support.
Okay, $3,500.
Yeah. Stay above that, and I think it just keeps climbing. And actually, I expect it to outperform Bitcoin and most other alts, too.
It's already doing that, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We're seeing that play out right now. It reminds me a bit of previous cycles, like 2017 or 2020, where ETH started leading after Bitcoin consolidated.
So you don't see this as just a temporary pop for ETH?
No, not at all. My read is that ETH is set to lead this entire cycle. Okay, maybe there's a very brief window where some specific alts have a crazy run, but broadly, ETH looks like the king for now.
Interesting. And compared to other altcoins, you mentioned ETHBTC looks promising too.
Yeah, if you look at the charts, ETH versus the altcoin market, I mean, ETH is way ahead. Most alts are just kind of hanging around, except for a few select picks, of course. And yeah, ETHBTC, the pair against Bitcoin, I really think that's bottomed. Even if we see pullbacks from here, I'd expect them to just make a higher low, which is, a really bullish sign.
Okay, so for listeners who might be holding, let's say, lower quality alts that are just hanging around, any advice on rotating?
Yeah, that's a tough spot. If you feel stuck in coins that aren't really showing strength, it's definitely worth considering rotating into stronger names, like ETH, obviously, but also things like SUI, FET, ENA, others we've flagged.
When's a good time?
Well, you don't have to rush. But if we get that sort of exit pump in that specific month we discussed, that could be a really good opportunity to make those shifts.
Makes sense. Let's talk price targets then. Near term for ETH, what are you seeing?
I think ETH is heading towards $4,000 to $4,200 pretty soon. Feels like the next stop.
Okay. And beyond that?
Once it clearly breaks and holds above $4,250, I think we see a really big green candle, a fast move to a new all-time high. Shouldn't take too long after that break.
Any big worries? What could knock this off course?
Well, look, losing those key support levels I mentioned, like that $3,500 mark, that would be very bad, obviously.
But you don't see that happening?
Honestly, no. Not this is the likely scenario right now. Even if we did get a significant dip, I probably expect it to hold somewhere between, say, $3,200 and $3,500, which, frankly, would just be another buying opportunity.
All right. And looking further out, say, long term, 2025.
Yeah, for 2025, I'm forecasting a minimum of $6,000 for ETH. Minimum. Could even see $8,500.
Wow, okay.
But I wouldn't get too greedy waiting for like $10. That often ends badly in these cycles.
And after that pick?
Then looking into 2026, yeah, I expect things to cool off. See ETH probably coming back below $3,000 again as the cycles reset. That's just how these things tend to work.
Okay, wrapping up then, any final piece of advice for you, our listener, navigating this market?
Yeah, definitely. The main thing is Zoom out. Try not to get lost in all the daily noise and chop.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True. But seriously, if you see pullbacks, especially maybe in the next month or so, like we talked about, try not to panic. ETH is fundamentally strong right now. The big picture still looks great. Remember predicting that overall market bottom?
Yeah.
We nailed that pretty closely within just a couple of weeks. So these cycle patterns are powerful. Just stay focused, stay patient, and ride the trend.
That is packed with insight and clarity. A really thorough look at Ethereum. Thanks so much for walking us through that.
Pleasure's mine. Absolutely. Let's keep winning.
So as you process all that, think about what stands out most to you regarding Ethereum potentially leading this cycle. Maybe share this deep dive with a friend, and definitely stay subscribed for more insights like this.